The moment Julian Carter stepped onto Horizon Flight 419, he felt a chill sharper than the cabin's recycled air. The lead flight attendant, Emily Vance, barely glanced at his boarding pass before her lips tightened into a thin, practiced smile. Each step toward his seat carried weight, every glance from fellow passengers cutting like a blade. Julian, a man of quiet authority, was no stranger to scrutiny, but this was different. It wasn't just judgment, it was a silent accusation. He'd been underestimated before, but when the zip ties bit into his wrists under the stairs of a packed cabin, Julian knew this flight would end far differently than anyone expected. It was October 12, 2026, and Julian Carter, CEO of Apex Guard Security, boarded the flight at Crestmont International Airport, bound for Portview. Airports were supposed to be neutral, chaotic hubs of travelers, security checks, and the hum of routine. But as Julian approached the premium check-in counter, the air shifted. Emily Vance stood there, her navy uniform crisp, her smile polished but cold. "Good afternoon, sir," she said, scanning his passport with a flick of her wrist. "Business class today?" The question lingered, laced with doubt. Julian nodded, sliding his boarding pass across the counter. Her fingers lingered on the keyboard, her eyes darting between the screen and his tailored gray suit. "Just a quick verification," she murmured. "Standard procedure." Julian's jaw tightened. Standard? That word was a flimsy cover for something else. He'd heard it before in boardrooms, courtrooms, and tense negotiations. It was never just standard. At the gate, the scanner beeped, but the agent's eyes flicked to a note on her screen. "Extra ID check," she said, her tone flat. Julian caught the words "passenger risk" in the reflection of the glass partition. He said nothing, stepping onto the jet bridge, the metallic tang of fuel sharp in the air. Inside the cabin, the scent of leather and citrus polish greeted him, but so did Emily's piercing gaze. "Welcome aboard," she said, her smile a mask. As Julian settled into seat 2A, her voice carried just enough for nearby passengers to hear. "Sir, are you sure this is your seat?" Heads turned. A ripple of curiosity spread. Julian met her gaze calmly. "It's on my ticket." Emily tilted her head, her tone dripping with feigned confusion. "It's just unusual." The implication hung heavy, and Julian felt the cabin's eyes on him. The plane's door closed with a thud, and the engines hummed to life. Emily moved through the cabin, her tablet gleaming under the overhead lights. Julian caught a glimpse of her screen passenger notes, a red flag next to his name. Observation required. He didn't flinch, but his mind cataloged every detail. As the plane taxied, the cabin settled into a tense rhythm. Emily poured champagne for the passenger in 1C with a warm laugh, adjusted a blanket for 1A with care, but passed Julian without a glance. The junior attendant, Lucas Reed, hesitated near Julian's row, his eyes flickering with unease. "Lucas," Emily's voice snapped from the galley. "Keep moving." Lucas gave Julian a quick, apologetic look before hurrying on. At 30,000 feet, a woman in 5C angled her phone, whispering to her live stream. "They're ignoring him completely. No drink, no menu, nothing. This is targeted." Her feed buzzed with outrage until it froze. A red banner flashed, stream ended. Terms of service violation. Murmurs rippled through the cabin. The woman stared at her phone, stunned. "It's gone," she whispered. Julian caught the words, his expression unchanged. Whatever was happening wasn't confined to the cabin. Then Emily approached, her voice sharp. "Mr. Carter, place your hands on the armrests." The cabin fell silent. "Excuse me," Julian said evenly. "Standard protocol for high-risk passengers," she replied, producing zip ties that glinted under the lights. Gasps erupted as she bound his wrists, the plastic clicking tightly. "What's the reason for this?" Julian asked, his voice calm but firm. "Security concerns," Emily said curtly, turning away. Phones angled discreetly, recording the scene. Lucas lingered at the aisle's end, his face pale, but Emily's sharp glance sent him retreating. In the jump seat, Nathan Wells, a systems technician, watched it all. His role wasn't passenger-facing, but this felt wrong. Emily's deliberate avoidance, the deleted stream, the zip tie sit wasn't protocol. It was strategy. Nathan opened his crew tablet, pulling up network diagnostics. A priority override from Emily's device had blocked the woman's stream. His gut twisted. This was bigger than one attendant. On the ground, in a sleek office overlooking Bayhaven's skyline, Owen Blake's phone buzzed. Julian's encrypted watch had sent a signal. Protocol read. Owen canceled his meetings, grabbed his secure briefcase, and was out the door in seconds. Back on the plane, Nathan noticed a navigation change buried in the logs. The destination had shifted from Portview to Stonefield, a remote airfield rarely used for commercial flights. The captain had authorized it, tagged with an off-record incentive credit. Nathan's pulse quickened. This wasn't a diversion. It was a setup. As the plane descended, the cabin grew tense. Passengers whispered about the unfamiliar flight path. Emily's smile remained, but her glances toward the cockpit betrayed urgency. Nathan sent a hidden transmission to Julian's watch, logging everything. At Stonefield, unmarked SUVs idled near the runway. A black van parked discreetly by the gate. But inside the jetway, Agent Daniel Holt and his tactical team waited, plainclothes but unmistakable. The plane touched down, tires screeching. Emily announced, "Please remain seated." The door opened, and Holt stepped in, badge flashing. "Emily Vance," he said sharply. Her composure cracked. "Agent Holt, this is a misunderstanding." "Step forward," Holt ordered. Two agents flanked her. He turned to the cockpit. "Captain Pierce, you're next." The captain emerged, his calm faltering. "You authorized an illegal diversion," Holt said. "You're coming with us." The cabin buzzed as Emily and the captain were escorted out. An agent cut Julian's zip ties, his wrists red but his expression steady. "We'll handle this," Holt said. Julian nodded, his mind already on the next move. The next day, headlines exploded. Horizon Airways under fire. CEO restrained mid-flight. In a Bayhaven federal office, Julian, Nathan, Owen, and Holt reviewed evidence. Nathan's logs revealed Operation CloudNet, a data harvesting scheme spanning Horizon and Global Wings, another major carrier. Julian's watch had captured proof-embedded modules siphoning passenger data. "This isn't just Horizon," Owen said. "It's an industry-wide conspiracy." Holt's phone buzzed. An analyst confirmed the data routed through a Global Wings server in Thornvale. "Multiple airlines, shell companies, and someone called the broker," Holt said grimly. Public outrage surged. The Flight Data Privacy Act, proposed by Julian, passed swiftly, mandating encryption and audits. Emily's interrogation revealed the broker, a shadow figure orchestrating the network from Thornvale. Julian stood before a Senate committee, his voice steady. "This isn't about one flight. It's about trust. If we can't protect passengers in the skies, we've failed them on the ground." The act became law, but Julian knew the broker was still out there. A year later, at Crestmont's Terminal C, a plaque unveiled Carter's Lounge, a symbol of safer skies. Julian stood by the window, watching a Horizon jet take off. Holt approached, handing him a classified folder. "The broker's moving," Holt said. "New hub, untraceable for now." Julian opened the folder. Grainy photos, ledgers, shell companies. The fight wasn't over. "He's careful," Holt said. "You'll get one shot." Julian's eyes were cold. "I'll make it count." "What do you think?" Was Julian a hero exposing a conspiracy, or a strategist exploiting a crisis for gain? Should airlines face harsher penalties, or are passengers partly to blame for trusting them blindly? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more stories that uncover the truth. Word count, 1,998 characters.